lot of people are now paranoid with their Apex accounts after what just happened to Alex Murgo. Now, you might not know who Alex Murgo is, and that's because neither does almost anyone else, but he recently shared how he was able to gain an account with 2 heirlooms and a couple legendary skins very, very easily. And now I'm hoping this doesn't happen to me because I do have a couple of heirlooms myself. Happy Easter, by the way. Hope you guys are all having a great day so far. Of course, like the video and subscribe to the channel if you guys want to stay up to date with all things inside of the world of Apex Legends news today. And without further ado, let's dive in and continue our story of what's going on. So big shout out to Vashi for tagging me in this over on Twitter. But basically, there was someone on side of the Facebook community that said that they have trust issues with Apex regarding their accounts now. And basically, long story short, they bought a new PS5 for Helldivers, and last night they decided to download Apex and start fresh on a brand new account for the PS5. But instead of getting a fresh Apex account like they expected, he said, I somehow logged into someone else's Apex account that had 2 heirlooms and like 2 evolution skins or whatever they're called and level 353. How the heck did this happen if I used one of my other emails that I've signed up with back in EA in like 2013? Now I'm like, well, what if this happens to my Apex account on Xbox that I've had since the beginning? He also showed a picture of the account and you could see some fair stats. One thing that is different is that the account's actually level 338. Now, the only logical thing was that the guy may have created the account with his old email that he made back in 2013, maybe as a typo. And so whenever he decided to use his own email, since it is his, maybe he was just gifted the account that was made under his email, rightfully so. But I mean, come on, what are the odds of that actually happening? On the other hand, what are the odds of making a brand new account and Apex just gifting you someone else's account? I don't know, really weird situation, but rightfully so. Some people were commenting saying me with 21 mythics and really praying that this doesn't happen to me. Now, I can't see how in the world you have 21 mythics. That's just crazy, but I do have a few heirlooms of my own and I would hate to see my account just being gifted to someone that was trying to make a new one. I swear things have been weird since the Destroyer 2009 issue. There is no telling what's going on here. But that's not the only change it seems that fans are wanting Respawn to make. This, however, is one that not only pros agree with, but many casual players agree with as well. 3 days ago, a pro player by the name of FaZe Zeratrick, you guys might know if you follow my ALGS channel, had stated that something really needs to change in ranked, and it is the following. Why do solos and duos in Apex take the same RP entry loss as a trio does? It is so much easier to gain RP as a trio, yet duo and especially solo queue is such a coin flip unless you're literally the pro skill level. You need to reduce the entry cost for solo queuers in Apex. By the way, Zera is a pro who said he's currently doing controller to masters and it feels impossible to gain RP once you hit diamond unless I suddenly become pro skill level at controller so I can just consistently 1v3 every team. It's not every day that you see casual players agreeing with a lot of pros, but you see this very often inside of this thread. Very based, Mr. Tricky. Thanks for saying it for us solo queuers. W take, everything they do to the rank system directly affects solo queue players. This will be the first time in a long time that I won't get masters because diamond is literal hell. Even a fan by the name of Tracheon on Reddit had got a lot of good feedback on their thread the other day, saying that solo queue ranked was practically impossible. This isn't a post about the challenges of having bad teamwork or the disadvantage of being with randoms versus 3 stacks, or even about teammate behavior like ratting. But solo queue is broken at the matchmaking level. I solo queue to masters pretty much every single season, and while it has its ups and downs, I generally find it more fun than playing with the 3 stack, mainly because I can reset my attitude since I have new teammates. Bad game, just move on to the next. Other seasons have been challenging, especially when trying to make the push from diamond to masters and constantly dying to 3 stack of literal pros, but I find it fun regardless. What I don't find fun and what has been happening almost every game is getting teammates that are in plat, sometimes as low as plat 4, and being paired up against 3 stacks of pros. Fighting a 3v3 or even a 2v3 is sometimes possible against Preds, but every single game up in a 1v3 because my teammates literally cannot compete, and I don't blame them. You couldn't expect a high school football player to outperform someone in the NFL, so why do it in Apex? It's just frustrating for literally every party involved. I'm frustrated because my teammates are objectively worse than my opponents in a ranked mode. My teammates are frustrated because they can't compete against their opponents. My opponents are frustrated because every game is just kill farming simulator. Watch any pro stream grinding ranked and tell me when they wouldn't have more fun in actual pred lobbies. When the extended RP cost for each rank, now my plat teammates are going positive in RP ages before I do, so they also tend to play much differently than I need in order to gain RP. It's just a bad system all around. But what about pred queue times? Well, boo-hoo. I refuse to believe that there aren't enough masters and preds to fill a lobby at any point in the day or on any server except maybe the Oceanic region. I've never in my life seen a game obsessed with queue times so as to totally destroy any and all sense of competitive integrity, only to save less than 5% of the game's population from long queue times. It just makes no sense. The skill gap between masters and preds is already insane, and one could even argue that masters shouldn't even be queued with preds. But here we are. Matching people literally tens of thousands or RP altogether is a so-called ranked mode. At this point, call it ranked for anyone below plat, and an RP farming kill race nightmare for anyone above that. Tired of watching 3 stacks of professional Apex players play it like it's pubs and get away with it only because they are so much better than the rest of the lobby. Now, obviously, that is a lot to digest. Matter of fact, I don't agree with everything he says, but I do agree with a lot of what he has to say. The bottom line is this: we have a common denominator here, and that is the fact that many Apex players are solo queuers, and there's nothing to get around that. You're not going to convince everybody to join the Discord and find people to play with. You're not going to get enough social tabs inside of the game in order to get people to queue up with one another. You're not going to get enough people to invite their previous. It's just not going to happen. People are going to solo queue. That's the way that it is. And other games have much better formats to solo queue, like Valorant, Rocket League, Call of Duty. I've played in all 3, solo queued in all 3, and I can definitely tell you that the experience is much better than Apex. Yes, you get bad teammates. There are definitely times in those other games where it doesn't work out and your teammates a little brain dead, but I've never felt it so bad in Apex right now. And I remember in Rocket League, if you were solo queuing and won a game, you got more MMR than what you were if you were a 3 stack. And if you beat a team that was a 3 stack, you got more MMR than if you beat a team that was solo queuing. There are definitely some changes that make a lot of sense, and I think Apex extremely needs to explore these options because it is no longer just some people having an opinion. It is a common denominator that we are starting to see every single day on the timeline, and people will not stop talking about it. A lot of you in the comments are solo queuers yourself. You don't have people to always play with, but you want to get on and grind ranked, and you're even down to meet some new people. But how are you going to get on and meet new people and find people to consistently play with if you're always frustrated to play the ranked system to begin with because it just absolutely smashes you as a solo queuer? When it comes to the queue time argument, honestly, if there was a system where you could go into the firing range while you were queuing up, it might be a lot better for a lot of the pros that do complain about long queue times, because yeah, it is boring to sit there in the lobby and do absolutely nothing. But if you could go in the firing range and 1v1 your lobby, or maybe even just have a good time practicing up with some weapons, maybe that queue time would feel a lot smoother. Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comment section below, and happy Easter, by the way. Hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. Spend time with your family or whatever you're doing. If you're not celebrating, then I hope that you're having a good time on Apex Legends. Take care of yourselves, and until the next time, we'll see you all later, Gators.